Hello, and welcome back to Better Thinking, Better Living, the show for people navigating life transitions who want more clarity, more courage, and more of themselves. I'm your host, Tonya Shankle. I had a different episode planned for today, but yesterday, Dolly Parton died, and I sat with it for most of the day, trying to figure out why it hit me as much as it did. I didn't know her. I never met her. But she was part of my life since I was young. And I think I want to give her a few minutes of honesty instead of a different topic. So my dad was from Tennessee, same state as she was. And I grew up hearing about those mountains, that particular kind of pride people from there carry about their home. And Dolly had that too. In every interview, every song, she never stopped talking about where she was from, never acted like she'd outgrown it. And my dad was like that as well. He often talked about Tennessee, his pride of being from there, and the music, and the mountains. And he played guitar as well. So she entered our home bold and different. Her music and her show. I don't know how many people remember her show, but I remember watching it and being amazed and entertained. She'd start the show with butterflies and end it with the iconic song that we all know, I Will Always Love You. She always started it by saying things to the audience. I even saw one time when she said she told people to forgive others, but usually it was, I wish you joy. I wish you all you've ever dreamed of. And she'd tell people straight out to forgive whoever had hurt them. And then she would sing. And even when I was younger, I remember what this did to the room. That song, it always stopped people. We always got quiet or a little misty-eyed, and no one made fun of it. I didn't have a word for it then. I do now. That's what it feels like when someone is telling the truth out loud and asking you to live differently because of it. And everything I ever heard about her off stage matched what she did on stage. Interviews were people who'd worked for her, people who had interviewed her. They all said the same thing. She was kind, generous, and actually kind, not the performance kind of kind. She gave back constantly, quietly, for decades. I know some people made fun of her for her persona, the wig, the voice, the whole bit. But underneath that was somebody who'd been through real hardship and came out the other side, determined to be soft anyway. And that's not nothing. That might be the hardest thing for someone to do. And then I do want to tell a little side story about her nails. My dad and I used to get into arguments about whether she was really playing the guitar, because for him, as a guitar player, he had a hard time thinking that, yeah, she was playing it with those nails, but she was. So this brings me to a story, of course, that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, actually, before any of this happened. It was actually something I was going to include in a podcast later, and I thought this really fit with what we were talking about today. So my dad used to get these little booklets. They were called tidbits. They weren't a magazine, really. It was just a little paperback booklet. And there were short stories, quotes, little slices of things. And I started getting them myself when I was an adult, and I loved them enough to where I kept them for a long time. But somewhere in one of my moves, they got lost. And I've looked. I've genuinely tried to find them again, because there was one story in there that never has been able to leave me. I've never been able to shake it. And I don't even know the woman's name. I wish I did. I wish I could give her credit properly, because she deserves it more than I can give her right now. It was an excellent story. So here's what I remember. She was being interviewed as an adult, and her childhood had been horrific, like neglect, abuse, the kind of upbringing that gives you every excuse to become hard, to become someone who protects yourself from shutting the world out. And she didn't. She grew up, built a wonderful life, had a husband, had children, was by every account happy. Everything was wonderful for her. And the interviewer asked her, how did you come through all of this and end up here and being the person that you are? And she said one sentence that I've carried for years, never losing it, even after I lost the actual booklets that it came from. She said, I've always had more love than they had hate. And that's it. That's the whole thing. I don't know her name. I don't know what happened to those booklets, but that sentence has outlived all of it. It has stuck with me forever. And I think about how easy it is right now with everything going on this year, this week, to lose track of that. There's a lot of stress going around, a lot of anxiety about what's coming next. It's easy to get pulled into irritation, into anger, into bracing for the next bad thing, and forget that the choice is still there every single day to have more love than hate. Not because the hate isn't real or the hard things aren't real, but because you get to decide which one you're going to lead with. And I think that's what Dolly did, actually, whether people took her seriously for it or not. She came from nothing in a place my own father called home, and she spent her years choosing warmth and kindness and love, publicly, privately, consistently, when it could have been easy not to. That's a decision that you make over and over again. So today isn't the episode that I planned, but I think it's the one that I needed to talk about. Being sure to have more love than we have hate, and remembering that and choosing that. I know I will. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow Better Thinking, Better Living on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, keep thinking better and keep living better.